you consent?
Now, wouldn't presence in this room after that disclosure suggest that you do consent?
Okay, just to let everybody know, I've restarted the YouTube live streams starting now.
How many viewers are there? And that's another thing.
It's not explicit consent.
If you guys know that there's, like, if he has no viewers, like you guys just said, then why, like, do you know that they can use our voice on here and they can use it for commercial use? So, like, all of our voices are recorded, and if they want to do anything that they want to them, so like 10 years from now, you may hear your voice saying things that you never fucking said, and that to me is like more of a concern.
But you're giving explicit consent to Clubhouse.
Yeah,
You're not giving any consent to
wait, hold
Kitover.
on. Let's just have an honest conversation about this. What is the real concern that you have about the streaming? Is it because somebody might listen to what it is that you say? There's more people in this room listening to what you're saying than there are on the YouTube channel listening to what you're saying. So, like, explain yourself. Like, what is your major challenge to this?
I have one. Can I take a moment to express it?
The archive is memorialized in a different way against the terms and conditions that we agreed to on this specific app.
Adam, something there was somebody else will say. One second, Mark.
Well, Adams almost partially stole my thunder. So I think what John's doing, I don't know if this is intent, is building an inventory of unstructured data, which in video it's sort of less threatening than it is in other formats, but probably 8 to 9 months from now, with advanced Blackwell and Rubin chipsets, for under $100 with the appropriate prompts, probably in less than 5 minutes, someone's going to be able to go through that entire unstructured inventory and make it structured.
This is so
So
funny.
much so tailored to
This is so funny.
who you are and everything you've said, building a profile, recollecting anything that you've ever revealed about yourself. And that includes even John, when John's having passive conversations. So as John's recording all these rooms, he's living his life. He's chatting with friends on the phone about his own life, the dates he's going on, things that are going on in his family. All of those things are captured as well. So I wonder to what extent John has considered the law of unintended consequences. Or is this the intent?
Well, did anyone ask John? Anyone?
People have asked John, but then when John goes to answer it, John is
I've asked him.
giving an answer.
Yeah, I just heard the question, and the point is, it's not necessarily unstructured. I spend a lot of time structuring, and there's tons of playlists. There's a podcast on every YouTube account. It's 30 YouTube accounts that I'm personally managing. It's a lot of work, and I've been doing it in a flow state for like 5 years. So when you say that video data isn't like of high quality, see, video data really has a lot of data in it. And if you look at it from a gigabyte perspective, you'll understand it really is a lot of data in a video. So my ability to live stream on my AT&T fiber, all this data, I can't believe I must have uploaded like hundreds of trillions of terabytes at this point. And
So
why do I
what's
pay
the
only
reason
$60 a month?
different?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
why
trying to
is it
game
all
the
separate?
system. I'm trying to game the system. This is like a hack. And all of you, if you are in my videos, you're in my network, you're connected to me somehow now. So you may not like that because I'm running to Congress, but I have created an artificial network with you, whether you like it or not. You're all in my videos. So in a way,
Yeah.
I'm responsible to you, and now you're responsible to me. So fork it over, and give $10 now. Make it use the DACA of the season.
All right, wait, hang on a second, John. One second. You missed Rico's very good point. I'm not sure you understood what he meant by unstructured data. You can take all of those recordings, get those transcripts, and then you can organize them by serial prompting them, and you can make additional content out of them. That's what I believe he was talking about, and you missed that point entirely.
Well, I was actually saying he doesn't even need the transcripts. The technology is going to be able to write transcripts, make associations, sort of create metadata about the relationships.
Yeah, that's a distinction, but yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But
you guys are talking over what's already there. 30 YouTube accounts with 20,000 videos.
There are other people talking as well. Okay.
I know, but it's 20,000 YouTube videos, 20,000 Instagram
I'm going to
videos.
add my 2 cents in. You do it again, you're going to go down again, John. Thanks. Appreciate it. I don't know who else is going to bring you up if that's going to be the case. You see, when you choose to be able to sign up to a service, that service is, it's incumbent upon that particular service as a commercial entity to be able to follow certain laws. Again, there's an obligation to those laws. Those companies are held accountable for what happens to that particular data. What people do, right, as far as what John is doing, is putting information out there which is in the public domain that can be scraped and utilized with AI, very, very simple scripts that can be recorded. And exactly what you're saying, there is profiling that can be done. The technology is there right now if people want to be able to do that. And profile it back to your particular names and hold that as data. Selling it. This is part of what John is facilitating. And I just want to clarify one last thing, okay? John, I do not consent, regardless of the sign and the title that is in this room, for you to be able to record or stream my voice, ideas, thoughts, and feelings at all. Thank you.
So, couple of things. If anybody's ever gone to a live wrestling event and broadcasts on Netflix, like WWE Raw, when you're in attendance before the show starts, they make an announcement that that you being there, that they're going to be recording. There's going to be cameras everywhere, and that they may use your likenesses. They may use for any purpose, marketing or otherwise, right? And so, and you're not, consenting verbally. You're not giving express consent. You're simply implicitly giving them the consent by continuing to sit there. I would imagine courts would look at this room the same way, especially if you make the disclosure that hey, it's being streamed. So if you have a protest, if somebody's really worried about their information being streamed in this conversation, I think the best way to protect yourself is to not be on social audio. Because if you're on social audio, let's say John gets hit by a bus tomorrow. Heaven forbid, because we need it for this political reason. But let's just say he gets hit by a bus tomorrow. Everybody still has the ability to record and to stream. And by the way, you don't have any control over it. You have no control over it. The idea that you don't want somebody to do it, your grievance is not with John. Your grievance really and truly should be with the creators of this app that for their own purposes of monetization have said that if you give them $5, you can remain anonymous, allowing you to record without anybody stopping you, allowing you to stream without anybody stopping you. And I think that what we're doing is we're aiming the gun at the wrong person.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with your wrestling analogy. When you buy your ticket, there's discount. If you have heard the explicit announcement, it's recorded. You have that verified choice to leave. That is not occurring, and this is not just.
Quietly left here. Quietly left here.
Yeah, I think Mojo, we're dealing with the point. It's the point.
So Roger, are you suggesting that, the solution is for people to not attend your space that has a problem with him and his presence in here and being recorded?
So here's what I would suggest. If you feel that you want to protect yourself from being streamed or recorded, you can make whatever decision you want. It can be limited to not coming to this room. It can be as extreme as, removing the app from your phone. The one thing I would caution you, though, is whatever other room that you might go in that you think is not being recorded, I just want to give you a little warning, a little whisper. Not only is somebody likely to record it and stream it, the app itself has incentivized it. They have actually incentivized people to do it. Your grievance is not with me in this space. Your grievance is not with John and what he does. Your grievance is that the app is not working in the way that you want it to. And I would just say attend the town hall. Tell Paul how you feel. I don't know if you're going to fix this problem by bringing this to the attention of John, who for 5 years has told people this is what he's going to do. All the app has done is said, yeah, we agree with John.
Yeah, I don't think that works right.
Yeah, I don't. And he's harassing people, and everybody in this damn room knows it.
Who is he harassing?
He continues to antagonize people with the fact that he's archiving people's sentiments and the things that he's saying on another app. He's openly doing that. So if anybody wants to paint it out to, put a lipstick on a pig, then go ahead and do it. But at the end of the day, he is harassing people.
Adams, you have the plus mark, right? You're the only person on the stage. No, there's 2 people. 3 people. Sorry. Counting it. Trying to track Adam on the screen. There's 3 of you that have the plus mark. The plus mark allows you to go into a room anonymously. John has the ability to go into a room anonymously. What's the difference between John going into a room anonymously and you going into a room anonymously? Can you explain?
Because there's no unwanted actions behind the antagonization, which gives insight into the intent. The intent is to harass.
Okay, well, what do you mean by harass? Who is he harassing?
Yeah, I'm not sure that harassing argument is a good argument.
It's a weak argument.
I don't think anybody's going to they have a complaint about that. People are ugly, people are mean, people are nice, people are not. It's the surreptitious recording, legalization of the Christian. That is the crux of it. And all of the recordings have done have not been done by the Christian. That's for a fact.
Well, Joe, I would just encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, look at some of my videos, and you tell me. Be a judge of the videos. Don't be a judge of me as a person or my total operations. Look at an individual piece of work and give me some feedback on a specific example, not these overgeneralized John Kitover sucks statements. You know what? You're a critic, and you suck.
Wait a minute. I have not criticized you one bit, and I don't need to go to your YouTube to hear people talk that has been recorded without their permission. The fact of the matter is the surreptitious recording. That is the crux of it.
Joe, you have to
Okay,
go.
Hold on. Just so everybody knows in this room, especially those that are complaining about it, this room, right now, is being streamed. And everyone in this room, including the people speaking and complaining, are aware of this fact. And yet you choose to stay here and complain about it, knowing that it's being streamed on YouTube. I would argue that you want to be streamed. Otherwise, you would have left already.
This is childish. No. This is childish. I'll see y'all later. This is fucking childish. What are the damages?
Well, there is that. There is that. You do need damages to be able to get compensation in court. There's no question about that. But the reality is, if they feel like they've been damaged and they go to one of his YouTubes and they've been mischaracterized and they've suffered some harm, then that's actionable.
So,
Okay, well that's a risk that John's then taking.
can I just point out that one person one
How did the cost
person,
of other people?
hold up, one person has decided to exercise their right to leave the room when it was pointed out that continuing to talk about it and complain about it, knowing you're being streamed, pretty much invalidates the argument that you have a problem with it. Because if you had a real problem, if I had a real problem with it, I wouldn't be here. That's how I exercise my freedom when I have a problem with it. But let me make my final point. The person that did storm off and say, "Forget this. This is immature. I'm out of here," also is participating in this communication by creating a PTR saying that they support the opposition to him running in the race. So everybody is trying to communicate their own bullshit here. All I can say is that John's just doing it better than everyone else.
Well, let me point out that Rowan said that he did not give John his permission to record. That's all he needed to do.
Everyone wins. That's
He
my
just said, "No, you
slogan.
don't have my permission to
Everyone
record."
wins.
John has
Yeah,
to
but
have.
No, this room is telling people that this room is being recorded.
No, you made
Yeah.
it. No, that's not good
Hold
enough.
on. Let me
No,
explain
it's
something.
not good enough.
It is good enough. Listen, if you were to walk into Stone's poker room in Sacramento, or you could go to Live at the Bicycle Casino in Southern California. You walk into these casinos and they have tables that specifically have cameras that record the poker game, and they put the poker game on the fucking television so people at home can watch what's happening at the casino. If somebody sat down at that table and said, "I don't consent to fucking playing," they wouldn't fucking sit there. Like you gotta understand, you have a responsibility here, and I think that people that are saying that they don't consent, but then stay in a room that they know is being streamed, I don't think they're being very genuine.
No, I think you're wrong. I think if the examples you're giving of this poker room, and you go to management and you say, "I don't want to be recorded," they will invite you to leave.
Yes, I work in the entertainment industry, and all I have to do to film in public and get your consent is put up a sign that says, "I am filming. If you walk past this, you are consenting to be filmed." Mojo is absolutely right. I deal with it on a regular basis and have been for 30 years in the entertainment industry. If you don't like it, it doesn't matter what you consent to or don't consent to verbally. If it is posted at the top of this room that this is being streamed, you are giving your consent by being in this room. I know it sucks.
No, I think you're wrong. I think you're completely wrong.
Please let me finish, Joe. Please let me finish. I disagree with what John's doing.
I've heard the crux of your argument. Okay, I appreciate it. But I disagree with the crux of the argument. It is not Clubhouse that is putting this in the title. It's Mojo is putting this is putting the title in this particular room. John is not. John is the person who is streaming this. And I'm repeating myself, I do not consent to having my voice, ideas, thoughts, or feelings being recorded or streamed onto any other platform. And if John chooses to be able to disregard my wishes, then there are consequences. That's not a threat. I'm just stating that is what it is.
You'd have to prove the damages. There's no consequences. Okay, that is absolutely a distinction. If John's recording and Mojo is the one putting up the consent, I can see your argument there. But you still have the ability to leave, and that is actually exactly it. You could sue him, and you could prove your damages and sue him for that. But I do see your distinction, bro. I do, and there's a legal argument there.
I don't support or understand John's recordings is like Mojo said, is the app. You're shooting a messenger. The app literally said $5 a month. Here are the tools here's the incubator for disease of anonymous recordings and streamings where mods can do where mods are left powerless to be at the hands of these random recorders. Like, that is all on Clubhouse.
I don't know where Clubhouse has given explicit consent people who have a plus sign to record. I don't think that's part of the TOS.
Joe, you're 100%.
They've
You're 100%
taken
correct.
they've taken
It's a
my
public
ability. Hold up, they've taken my ability away. I used to have the ability, and you can ask John about this. If he was in the room under one of his many aliases, if I recognize, oh, okay, that's the person that's streaming the room, I was able to remove him from the room. I no longer have the ability to do that. I had it, and it was taken away from me. The app itself has taken away the tool that I had at my disposal to deliver to what you guys are asking for, is to take his ability to stream the room. That tool has been taken away by the app creator. So I'm going to put this challenge out to you guys. You go ahead and put together a fucking petition saying that you think that the $5 a month anonymous feature should go away, and I will fucking sign it. Matter of fact, I will actually advertise that people sign the petition. I will sign that petition. But what I won't do is sit here and allow people to just have this cowardly fucking argument that why are you not taking the fight to the fucking person that created the conditions that do not allow moderators to kick people out for streaming rooms? You guys are not willing to fight that fight because you don't have the gun. Instead, what you do is you'll sit in a room that you know is streamed and sit here and bitch about it. You guys don't want solutions. That's why you probably haven't donated to John Kitover. If you want solutions for problems that we face, you might want to just pay up John Kitover for Congress.
Well, that's a nice soliloquy, but it doesn't matter. John has been recording surreptitiously for 5 years, and the body of that work is on other people's content, and nobody gave him permission to do that. And irrespective of Clubhouse, they haven't given anybody the right to record. In fact, the TOS says that you can't record, personally record rooms.
Did you know that Joe Armenia, who is the community guy for Clubhouse, was in this room when we were doing a money bomb for John, and we mentioned in front of him that this is streaming onto YouTube, and during that room, Joe Armenia didn't shut this room down. What he did was he actually followed me, something that he had unfollowed. Well, he unfollowed my old account, but he followed me. He followed me. He heard that this room is being streamed, and he is the person that manages the community here, and he followed me, knowing that this room streams to YouTube. So, are you telling me that you think that Clubhouse doesn't want this to be streamed? Because I think I have some anecdotal evidence to the contrary.
Well, you lost the whole thing on anecdotal.
You sort of lost the trail there, respectfully. Okay, it's not a matter of whether they want.
Okay, what are you gonna do about it, bro? Bro, what are you gonna do? Okay, what are you gonna do about it?
People actually sign up, and they say, you know what, I accept these terms and conditions, and they become a user.
Okay, instead of crying about it, what are you gonna do about it?
I'm not crying about it. I'm doing what I can and what I'm willing to be able to do at this point in time, and that's to be able to try and protect myself by stating very clearly that I don't consent, John or anybody else for that matter, outside of the terms and service and conditions of Clubhouse, for anybody to be able to record or stream my voice, ideas, thoughts, and feelings. That's what I can do. That's what I'm willing to do.
Okay. Hold on. So I want to make a statement. This room is being recorded. It's being recorded by Clubhouse. It's also being recorded and live streamed onto YouTube. And if you're in this room, you need to understand that your voice will be streamed to YouTube. And if you don't want that to happen, there's action that's required on your end to make sure that doesn't happen. Because this room is being streamed now, and it will continue to be streamed. And if you don't like that, the ball is in your court.
Okay, I hear that really loudly and clearly. That's perfectly fine. The conversation I'm having is not with you about it. It's actually with John. I'm saying to John and anybody else who chooses to be able to try and record or stream my voice, ideas, thoughts, and feelings, that is not something I can consent to. I consent myself for being here. I consent you, obviously, for creating the own rules that you have in this room and also this house, and that's perfectly fine. I accept those conditions, but I don't accept John or anybody else recording my voice and streaming it.
So, okay, so quick question for Joe or Ro or anybody else that is anti rooms being streamed despite the fact that the app is allowing for this. What do you plan to do about it?
Not one thing.
Well,
Nothing.
there we go. There we go.
Yeah, Mojo, I think you may be either not sensitive to or missing the point that the risk continuum to the variety of people in the room is different. So you're a guy who's probably at the end of his career, probably well resourced, doesn't have a lot to lose. And I'm probably in that same situation. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so comfortable with John recording these rooms. I'm not uncomfortable with it. I can see things in the future that make this a really bad idea for a lot of people, including myself. But it's not going to be the thing that gets me. But if you're not like between me and Anson in that sort of cohort, you might have something to lose by sticking around this house and expressing yourself based on the technologies that are coming and based on the data sets that John's collecting.
Wait, hold on. Are you under the impression that John's the only person that records or streams these rooms?
No, and I'm not concerned about it either. Because like I said, for me, I know it's not going to be the thing that gets me.
Okay, how about this? Name a public-facing house on this app that you believe doesn't get streamed.
No, I think it all gets streamed. I know it all gets streamed. Like, I'm not new on this topic.
So,
Yeah.
so then what the hell is the critique about? I don't see anybody going into biblical smoke and saying, hey, I don't consent to the stream. I mean, like, figure out whatever house it is, whether it's chillism or political correct or Lisa 420, whatever house it is that you go into, or even just a room when you're amongst friends. I want you to explain to me, are you under the impression that what's happening with John is not happening there? Like, because I can't think of a single place, with the exception of a private room, which, by the way, the person that you're having a private conversation with, they might be screen capturing it too. Who fucking knows? People on here are weird.
For sure. No. Yeah, I'm not saying like what John's doing is exclusive. He is probably doing something at a level of scale, using the resources of a Meg 7 company to act as the repository for what will be a glorious data set a year from now, where you can pay $100 using a technology that comes out to consume, to eat that entire elephant of YouTube recordings and prompt and mine probably really valuable shit out of it. So it's not a threat to me, but and I don't know that John's doing this with a threatening intent, but I can see the law of unintended consequences. What he does ends up creating a point of threatening atmosphere.
Well,
Some other people, not me.
I'll add something to that. We'll see as well. I gained an enormous amount from social audio, not just Clubhouse, but social audio in itself. Part of what that has included is actually me sharing personal things, being vulnerable, having courage to be able to do that. And that includes other people, right, within my circles, who have managed to be able to do, who have gone through that process and grown as a result of that, and developed like really, really amazing communities and connections. For anybody who wanted to hear me in person, being able to do that, knowing that there's a chance that they're actually being recorded. I'm not talking about this particular room, because there are other rooms that are being streamed by John, as he's already said. Basically dilutes the value proposition individually and maybe even collectively if something is actually set up. And I actually really I do get a lot of value out of Clubhouse and social audio. I'd like to make sure that other people continue to be able to do so. And this idea that, okay, Clubhouse, in my opinion, has earned by allowing anonymity and furthermore, disallowing moderation, or effective moderation, to be able to provide environments where people can speak their mind, can find courage to be able to talk about certain things that might actually be very close to the heart. That's on them, got it. But that doesn't mean they consent and give license to any and all to be able to stream content from these rooms onto other platforms where that information can be reviewed by other people.
So answer this question for me, Ro.
Yeah.
You know that Clubhouse knows that John's doing this and that others are doing this. We know that they know this. We know that he's been mass recorded. Clubhouse has made a decision to allow him to remain on this app, knowing what he does. Do you think that does that signal to you that they support it, that they frown upon it, or that they're indifferent? What's the signal to you?
Well, I mean, the signal's a couple of things there. Either they, as an entity, are aware of it, or there's an individual that's aware of it and has chosen not to be able to do anything about it. There's two distinctions that are within there. But again, the terms of service, regardless of what an individual actually said, speaks for itself. You are not allowed to be able to stream or record rooms and conversations without other people's consent. The system doesn't allow for it.
I know. Well, hold on, but you keep saying that, but now you didn't answer my question. My question was, what do you think Clubhouse thinks about that? Even though they have a terms of service that you've agreed to, right?
Yep.
They're not enforcing this, despite the fact that hundreds, if not thousands of people have brought it to their attention about John's behavior on this app, and they choose to allow him to remain. So why do you think that they're against this behavior if they know about it and they're allowing it?
Well, okay, so there's two.
Well, they're not. It's free marketing.
There's two distinctions to be able to make it. Okay, it is actually doing free marketing. So for them, it's a double-edged sword because, look, if they were audited, or they were taken to court, and it was found that they were knowingly enabling this, that'd be one thing. Okay, then that they would be held accountable. However, on the marketing side, and for an organisation that's probably trying to maximise as much as they can in terms of getting exposure, this is a great marketing opportunity for them too. So there's no one answer to it. I don't know that I'm right. It's just an opinion that I might be able to share.
Yeah, I would say this: if you had turned on replays for this room, which you have not, and if John had just been collecting replays on Clubhouse and utilizing those, I would have no problem with that, because you can do that.
Hey,
Let me ask you this. Hold on, let me ask you this. If this is such a legal problem, the platform that he is streaming it to is very risk adverse. In fact, there's a process in which you could have content taken down. If he was to play music, copyrighted material, just for a few seconds even, he would lose his entire channel, not just the video that he's posting. He could do a lot of damage. He could forever be banned from monetizing, which takes a lot to get monetized on an app like that, which he's nowhere close to. But YouTube, which is very risk adverse and definitely wants to follow all the laws pertaining to privacy and intellectual IP and this, that, and the other. YouTube disagrees because I've gone to YouTube to try to get content removed, and they won't do it. Now, if you have a specific angle that you can go to YouTube and get them to take it down, that'd be one thing. So here's just some facts on the table, okay? All of that. This app enables this functionality. It took away the ability to for a host of a room to do something about it. And when this app is notified that it's happening, they take no action against the person, and then the app that it's being streamed to, when you bring it to their attention, they take no action. And then the final thing is the people that have this grievance that know it's being streamed have no problem staying in the environment that they think is so destructive. When I add it all up, I just think that it's a very disingenuous argument. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's fair use and copyright.
Just because the app has a blind spot to it, it doesn't give license for people to be able to look. You know what? I don't think, no matter what I say, it's not going to make any difference here. Okay, Roger, I love and respect you. Okay, we're going to disagree about this. In fact, I know for a fact that you and I do agree on certain elements of this dialogue, and that's great. I appreciate that. I know that if, for example, if Clubhouse turned around and said, we are going to disable that functionality where people who are anonymous cannot be booted out, then perhaps you would be changing your ideas as they are standing at this point in time. Okay? It doesn't get around the fact that, and it's fine, you can put the titles up there, all good, fantastic, but it doesn't get away from the fact that John is streaming, right, people's ideas, thoughts, and feelings and voice without consent onto another platform. And by the way, I have reported content. I'm not going to say whether it's John's or not, and I've had content removed by YouTube for the very reasons that I'm talking about. It's an infringement on copyright.
Can I tell a little story? I don't block a lot of people on this app. I've blocked John like 3 times and unblocked him. I like John. I actually sort of get his humor and enjoy it. I don't see this being a really good thing for him. And in fact, I would say that all the people, I think he's got the most to lose. And Mojo, you're probably more familiar with the story than I am, but when I believe it was Hulk Hogan was in a lawsuit with the Gawker, right? So that then Peter Thiel wrote a book on this. Was Hulk Hogan the threat in that litigation? What ended up being the threat was somebody who was trying to seek revenge against Gawker, and that was Peter Thiel, and he was very well resourced and tipped the balance of things. So it's, again, I think a lot of this conversation has been good and it's been wide ranging, but in a lot of ways it's been pretty myopic. If you don't know what myopic is, it's like nearsighted, meaning the things that can bite you in the ass are oftentimes the things that you don't contemplate or can't see with like first order thinking. And I think, while none of this bothers me, and if I guess I had a preference, I would prefer that John doesn't do this, not only for me and for all of you, but primarily for himself, because I intend on giving him some money, and I wish him the best on this campaign, but I think he could be making a better decision as it relates to recording these rooms. I see a lot of downside, very little upside.
Look, and I was in that same camp until the app itself took those tools away. It forced me to reconsider. I just want to respond to the Gawker thing, though. The difference in the Gawker case was it was a private conversation that was released publicly. That's the difference. This is not a private conversation. This is by definition a public conversation.
Well, that will be hopefully not, but that will be for the courts to decide.
And legalities aside,
it's in the name.
Gentlemen, please.
On a social audio app, it's a public room.
Gentlemen, please, gentlemen,
for the U.S. Senate.
If somebody's looking to gain attention, then sure. Like, if you think, here's the thing. If you think that his opponents could weaponize this, I would say you should send all of the videos to his opponents, and let's see if they weaponize it. let's say if they find the worst thing that he's ever said on this app and use it against him so he doesn't win the election, I would love for that to happen. It would be the most publicity that he's going to get in this cycle. So please, if you think that what he's doing is wrong and it's not helpful and it's not becoming of someone running for Congress, then go take the links to every single one of those YouTube channels and go ahead and send them to his opponents.
John, I'm sorry for getting so excited. I just want to remind you, you are all being live streamed to YouTube, whether you consent or don't consent. But, you know, I'm also creating reels real time.
John, what's 11 million times 11,000?
I would just encourage you all to take the deepest breath of the day. I want to thank you for being a part of this Mojo experience and this campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover to the 16th District. This is an ongoing room, it seems, every day. I'm sure tomorrow will be just like today. I don't want to say it's Groundhog Day, because it's not. We are going to doge Darren LaHood, who has created $20 trillion in debt, who supported the vaccines and has $10 million in his bank account from big pharma, from big health insurance, and he's just a skimmer and a can kicker, and he's created $20 trillion. And if you want to be a part of this campaign, follow me on X, John Kitover IL, retweet something, comment. You know, nobody even watches any of the content, and everybody is sitting here complaining for 2 hours about me. Meanwhile, nobody even looks at it. So, you know, that's life. People like to be art critics, but nobody ever picks up a canvas and a brush and paints anything and hangs it on their wall anymore, nor do people read books. They just come on a social audio complaint app called Clown House and deposit their complaints in a fucking vacuum. Welcome to the abyss that you create. I'm merely just recording you, and you're live on YouTube right now.
Jen, can you put the links to the shorts in the chat? Because I want to send them to my mom so she knows that I'm on the internet.
Yeah, you're definitely in there. I don't know. You'll have to scour through the 20,000 YouTube videos to maybe try to find yourself. Good luck.
Yeah, just FYI, I again do not give consent to you, John, or anybody else to be recording or streaming my voice, my ideas and thoughts. They are mine. Do not do it, John.
What is this, dinner for schmucks, and you're running like a hypnosis seminar or something? I mean, Ro, let it go. You're in an online social audio chat app where I'm not the only one who records. It could be 100 people recording you. What are you going to do then? Oh, I don't know, Ro. You're going to say the same thing to everybody else? Get over yourself. I can't be the only one who's recording this. Clown House records this. The government records this. No one controls your thought, Ro. You're free. You're a free man. I'm just live streaming myself in my office because I think it's the best idea to do.
You sounded very triggered, John. I didn't say something, actually. I'm just making it clear to you I don't give consent. No, I do find my voice or any part of my thoughts and ideas on one of your channels.
What is
I'll be
this, dinner for
recording it.
schmucks?
And if that means that your channel goes down, I'm not going to cry at all.
Oh, you think I'm gonna cry? You know how many accounts I've had nuked, deleted, Clown House, YouTube, etc. You think I'm crying right now? No, I'm still having fun. I'll still have fun. Whatever they knock off, it won't stop me. I'm gonna go all the way, baby. And we're in March. We're gonna win that primary. Darren LaHood is gonna shit his pants when he realizes his 10-year reign of $20 trillion in debt and skimming is over. The people of Peoria, the people of Rockford will be liberated from a fake Republican rhino, a vaccinologist who said if you don't get vaccinated, you can't go back to work. You gotta get vaccinated or this pandemic will never end. Send me more money, Pfizer. Send me more money, Blue Cross Blue Shield. This pandemic will not end until all of you get vaccinated. That's what he said. Look at his social media. You know, just go on his X account and type in vaccines and pull up all the vaccine posts he made. He didn't delete them. They're still there. Read what he wrote. Read what the man wrote. His name is Darren LaHood.
It's been a fun room. I wish I could get on the stage of the town hall and ask Paul that question. I would just love to ask Paul, hey, why did you take the tools away to kick people out of the room, because there's a lot of things that they can do. First of all, I should be able to kick anybody out of the room, right? They said, no, the creator does not have that right. In fact, we're going to get people to pay $5 a month for the privilege of not being kicked out. That's what they're charging people $5 for the privilege to not be kicked out. It's like they've got immunity. It's amazing. I think that everyone that's spoken tonight against John is just guilty of not understanding who their true enemy is. I think what you should be mad about is that Clubhouse made some changes that now justify and enable people to do what John's doing, and then you want to rehash something that's been happening for 5 years. Well, like, he's been doing it for 5 years. The only difference now is that Clubhouse is on his side. Clubhouse took his side against you guys.
Yeah, I don't think that's so, Mojo. I don't think that's so at all. The fact of the matter,
really?
Clubhouse changed the
Do I have the ability to kick? Do I have the ability to kick out people that are anonymous? Yes or no?
You have no ability to stop anybody from recording, irrespective of being able to kick anybody out, anonymous or otherwise. People could be recording anyway, and that still would be surreptitious, and they would be just like John.
Right, but when we identify...
But to leave the moderator powerless and to take away that ability to remove a known recorder is just, it's counterintuitive to a good user experience.
Oh, what about the unknown recorder?
Well, you guys aren't complaining about the unknown recorder. You guys are complaining about John, the known recorder.
No, I have been very clear about surreptitious recording, period. John or anyone else.
So who's the other person you want to name in this suit?
I don't have a suit and don't plan on filing one.
But if you did, is there another known person that does this?
I'd have to have damages, and then I would know that I've been somehow compromised by recording being broadcast someplace else, or somehow I have suffered a loss. I don't know that, so there's nothing I can do, and I don't know who that person is yet.
I don't think a judge would be very sympathetic to these arguments that I'm hearing.
This is.
Joe, how many times have you been in court or prepared for a lawsuit?
I've been sued a couple times.
This week?
Why? What's the inference of that question?
I'm just wondering if you've gone through the discovery process and actually had to defend against the suit or file the suit. That's all.
Do you think that it's likely that if somebody in this room that's choosing to participate in this room, despite the fact that everyone in this room knows it's being recorded, do you think that by stating that, hey, I don't want to be recorded, you think that that's going to hold up in a court?
Oh, it very well may.
Depends if you're a good lawyer or not.
No, the only argument you have to limit your damages if you're aware of how to limit your damages. You'd be making the argument that because Clubhouse is in the state of California, and California is a two-party consent state, and audio is only being recorded, not video, because you don't have the right to limit video in public. You could make the argument that this is a public space, and so, again, I agree with Mojo, he's absolutely right, it's not going to hold up. But go ahead, sue John for defamation, that's your argument.
William, you're incorrect. Doesn't matter where Clubhouse is incorporated. It matters where the person is domiciled. So I'm in Maryland, where you cannot record without explicit permission.
Can I make one request? If anybody is going to file a lawsuit, can you do a soon? Because I would love for this to blow up before the primary in March.
Yeah, I have no plans of filing a lawsuit.
Just out of curiosity, Joe, are you a lawyer?
I am not a lawyer. My brother's a lawyer. My partner's a lawyer, but I'm not a lawyer. But I have had to do a lot of lawsuits.
Clearly plays one on Clubhouse.
I have not pretended to be a lawyer one iota.
See, I mean, part of the campaign strategy is to be that candle or that star, to attract attention. And I want to thank you all for centering me for over 2 hours as I create clips about you complaining about me, because this is one of the most essential strategic components of my campaign to win the 16th district and defeat and remove Darren LaHood, the toxic vaccinologist and $20 trillion debt creator who doesn't care about his constituents' property taxes, their income taxes. All he cares about is a big, beautiful bill and trillions of dollars in debt. So Pfizer, Moderna, J&J,
So your
AstraZeneca.
solution is to be an asshole to everyone on Clubhouse, and that's how you're going to get elected? That's a great platform, bro.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, I want to be clear, John.
I just wanted to ruin this little clip there that he was trying to do a speech.
Yes, sorry,
That's how
William.
you combat it. Every time he goes off on a tangent, interrupt it.
Yeah, sorry, William. I have not made any ad hominem towards you, John. I have focused entirely on the practice of surreptitiously recording. That's all my commentary has been about, not about you.
Okay, so I want to officially hedge my bet here. John, I do not consent to you recording my voice, my likeness, my thoughts, my expressions, my deepest and darkest desires. If you do that, you son of a bitch, and there's a class action lawsuit or some other type of way to get some money out of this, I'm signing up.
Forgot to state your name.
John, I demand to be paid.
I am Mojo X.
No one forgot his name too when he has to do legal disclaimer all over again. His name wasn't on it.
Someone once remarked that the only people that watch my videos are the people who are actually in the videos. Therefore, it's a very, very small community of people, because it's really not that many. I mean, it's a couple hundred people, and people know who I am, and they go to my YouTube channels for gossip, for source. I mean, I am the modern day gossip magazine, redistributor. Like, I'm the laziest, what are those people called in the streets that film celebrities?
Paparazzi.
I am the laziest paparazzi of all fucking time. I literally sit here and just click, 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 click. No work, no editing, nothing. It's the laziest clipping job in the world. I am the paparazzi spammer of Clownhouse. I hate to tell you.
Constituents of the good people of your district are looking for in their congressman.
Well, it's important. It's important that they know that I'm a former U.S. Army intelligence officer, and that I have provided a service to them. And inside, hold on, Moose, hold on. I haven't gotten the thought out. You're interrupting me. Do I interrupt you? Go ahead, Moose. You can finish up.
No, I was just curious what your answer would be if they ask why you're doing this.
Well, as Mojo stated earlier, if it does get out and you do help the campaign and you send videos of the most toxic conversations on Clownhouse, for example, just in the past 72 hours, or maybe the past week or the past 30 days, find the most toxic, vile, repugnant vulgarity that you've heard on this app that I've recorded that YouTube amazingly doesn't take down, and send it to Darren LaHood. As Mojo X said, if Darren LaHood attacks me as a candidate, it gives me credibility. When Dr. Adams comes in here with a Darren LaHood PTR and I'm recording it and posting it saying the Darren LaHood campaign associate or aide is attacking the campaign for candidate Congressman John Kitover, you have to realize it's all part of the plan. And even if you don't give $1 now, I'm still going to use your voice, your PTR, and this conversation in the campaign. So you've got nothing to lose, and I've got everything to gain. So give $10 right now to elect candidate Kitover to the 16th District of Illinois. Whoa!
Oh, man. These last 72 2 hours have been a blast.
I think we're all going to be looking back on this and having a good laugh, Rog.
Let me ask you this. Have you been listening during earlier in the day? Like, well, I guess that's a weird concept for you because you're at the other side of the world. But earlier today, we had some accusations thrown at John of stolen valor. I think we should send that to the opposition. I think we should send that to Darren LaHood and the Democratic opposition and see if they run with that.
Tell me, do you trust a person on face value who would spend 4 years of their life almost 24/7 recording other people on the internet?
Well, when he was accused of stolen valor, I did like a Google search and I found plenty of evidence that supported that his claims were legit. I could find the evidence that he went to the Citadel, for example. Claims that were, I mean, the things that were said today were crazy. And in fact, if there was a crime committed at all today, it would have been the crime of slander.
You know, Rohan, I also posted my military ID and my Service Connect disabled veteran healthcare card. So
I don't know why you feel the need at this point in time to be able to try and defend yourself.
you sound triggered. You sound triggered. Who hurt you, Rohan? Who hurt you? You sound
Your mummy
triggered.
hurt me.
My
Your
mommy.
mama hurt
My mommy?
Yeah. Your mama. Yeah. It was a straightforward question, but yeah, look, I was actually about to say, look, I'm not suggesting that John Kitover is anything but the person he says or indicates that he is. That's perfectly fine. And look, John, for what it's worth, I actually find you amusing. I think your comedy is actually really funny. If it didn't impinge upon me and other people around me,
That's what makes it funny.
yeah, maybe I'd see this differently.
It's not just at my expense. See, that's why I think it actually is kind of funny because, you know, the room title is "We are being live streamed to YouTube. Do you consent?" But yet, technically, this is a complaint room against me individually as someone who records himself in his office, and you are consenting to being here because you're in a room titled "We're being live streamed to YouTube. Do you consent?" If you're here, you are consenting to being recorded, legally speaking. It's in the subject title of the room, in the muff. The whole room's being recorded. Everything you say is being live streamed on YouTube, and you are talking. So let me just give you the link to the YouTube so you can see what it looks like from my perspective. I know this may be, you know, earth shattering, but let me get you that link to YouTube. Please hold.
Now, were you able to segregate the content from before the disclaimer was put at the top of the room?
Yes, as a matter of fact, when Roger changed the room title, I restarted all the YouTube so it's fresh. Start from the time of the title start. So you're technically in a room right now, which is timestamped and pressed with the title, with a new feed called "We Are Being Live Streamed to YouTube. Do you consent?"
Let me ask you this.
Well, Joe, before you ask your question, can I just ask one question of you guys that are complaining? Would you guys please write letters, send emails, make phone calls to the Darren LaHood campaign headquarters and tell them about these live streams that the opposition, so they can tell the good people of Illinois about just how crazy John Kitover is. This will help the voters make an informed decision. If you guys can go ahead and do that, you would be doing your civic duty. I encourage you to do it. In fact, I will buy the stamps if you want to mail the letter.
I say you invite the guy into this room.
Darren LaHood?
Yeah, bring him in here.
Darren LaHood's too busy stealing your money. Like, he's not coming into this room.
Have you asked?
Wait, what is?
I'll make
Wait, Mojo, let me ask this diagnostic question. What is Darren the Hood times 1,000? Cat got your tongue? Okay, let's move the show right along. So again, you are in a room here on Clown House, and you know I'm a serial recorder on the interwebs, and you are currently being live streamed to YouTube. Everything you say is being listened to by YouTube, me, and future people. Do you consent to speaking up right now and being forever on YouTube?
Yeah, if you can show me that you have explicit consent from Clubhouse to do it.
Just look to the top of the room, underneath in the muff. We are being live streamed to
You're
YouTube.
dodging my
Do
question.
you consent? Do you
You're dodging my
consent?
question.
We are being live
object-
streamed to YouTube.
Objection, badgering the witness.
Do you consent?
The
Do you
dodging.
consent?
I object to the dodging of the.
I direct your attention to the top of the room. We are being live streamed to YouTube. Do you consent? Go to the chat. There's 3 YouTube live streams right now. You can see me in my hat with my golf shirt on. I'm sitting in my office live streaming you. Every word you're saying is being retransmitted across 13 different YouTubes, 2 different X accounts, and 2 different Clown House accounts. Your voice is going through all of the interwebs, coursing out in a brilliant source of brilliance. Go to the links now to listen to yourself right now.
So I'll take that as an answer no, that you do not have consent from Clubhouse to do it.
I point you to the top of the room where it says we are being live streamed to YouTube. Do you consent? Do you consent?
Did Clubhouse
Go to
put
the
that
chat
there?
to find the
Did
link
Clubhouse
to the
put that there?
YouTube
No, they
in the
didn't.
mouth.
Joe, let me ask you a question. Have you heard enough tonight to consider giving a donation to the campaign?
No, actually I have heard enough, and no, I would not give him any money.
In fact, I think John owes Joe money.
You know, this is a very tough audience, and I'm a former stand-up comic. I've done a lot of stand-up comedy here in Chicago. But to me, this is the modern stage. To go to a bar, to not even make people laugh, but to sit here to record you live on Clubhouse in a room called We Are Being Live Streamed to YouTube. Do you consent? Do you consent? And so the point is, you are still here talking, even though you're complaining about being live streamed on my YouTube, but you're still here talking about it because of dopamine, because of what I'm saying and what you're thinking about saying next, creating dopamine, 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 and then more dopamine. But the question is, you are still in a room called We Are Being Live Streamed to YouTube. Do you consent? But here you are, mesmerized and hypnotized, listening to candidate Congressman John Kitover running for the 16th District in Illinois. Are you prepared to go into your center, hold on to the center, and find that dollar, to find that $10 bill, to find that $100 bill, and donate it to the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover right now? Just remember, all communication is political, and all communication is hypnosis, and all communication is
So
spam.
John, are you?
So stop eating spam for lunch.
Are you condescending to us, or are you insulting us? I'm not sure which it is.
I am live streaming you to YouTube right now, recording
His mushrooms are
every word
kicking
you say.
in.
I'm not being condescending. I'm merely trying to make the point that people come to Clown House, and at a subconscious level, it's mostly just dopamine because nothing is created here. Nothing intelligent is hardly ever discussed. There's no organizing effort to create any kind of intelligence.
Then again,
It's
it begs
just
the question
heated
for your
conversations.
constituents. Why? What is the motivation? Why?
Well, because I think that as a leader and as a congressman, I'm also the primary educator. And that means I think that in society today, we have an anger management problem, which is from the top to the bottom. And I've observed it. I'm sure you've observed it. In this app, we've observed it. I've recorded it. I've distributed it. And you are all witnesses to the fact that people are not in control of their emotions. Their emotions are in control of them. And many people do homicidal ideation projection, which is screaming out death threats all day long. Some people are engaged in nefarious activities on this app. I've also live streamed that onto YouTube. So if you think your pathetic little gossip about God knows what is a problem for you, well, put yourself in my shoes. I'm running for Congress recording you.
I got it. Condescending.
It's produced by FOMO Productions.
It's been a fun room. You guys kept me busy. Long drive. I appreciate you guys. It's been good.
Do we entertain you? Do we amuse you?
You know, I get my greatest amusement when I go and watch the live stream on YouTube. The one that everybody's giving me consent to.
Alright, now that was actually funny.
Too soon.
Alright, I almost never get up and talk in this room, but I do have to go to bed. Thank you guys.
Okay, good night, Joe. So I do get
It's fun.
text message from a lot of people, sending me their best stuff clips as well, because I am not the only one that records. I have inspired other recorders who send me their recordings of either my rooms or other people's rooms. So everything today was live streamed onto YouTube using a screen recorder. Everything yesterday was, live streamed using a screen recorder. His name is Chris. Is he in the audience? Oh my God, he's in the audience. Why don't you come up and tell everybody about the work that you are also doing recording Clubhouse? So the person that I'm talking about in the audience is the hyphenated marks Mini 9. His name is Chris, and he also records Clubhouse, and you can look at his chat history. In one of the rooms, it's called Come Waste Your Time. One of my special rooms where I live stream other Clown House rooms into another Clubhouse room called Super Stupid Hypnosis, How to Waste Your Time and Listen to People Talking About Nothing. So that's the kind of work and service we do, not just for Clown House, but for everyone, to help everybody optimize their time and figure out why people are here, road raging and talking about the same thing every day over and over again, nonstop.
Tomorrow's going to be a fun day. I'm not sure what the topic will be in Hanson's room, but rational discussion group. Starting to build some steam. Did you guys have fun in that? I didn't get to listen to the whole thing. I know Timok, you were there. Dippity, you were there. John, you participated. Moose, I think you were there as well, right? No? Alright.
It was good. I listened to the part of the playback. I read those stats. It's $88 billion a month to fund education in this country. 1.1 trillion a year we spend on education in this country. That's a big business. 1.1 trillion a year is spent on in this country on education. 88 billion a month. 88 billion a month. Divide that by 30 days. What do you get? 2.8, 2.7 billion every single month month after month. Another 2.9 billion, another 2.7 billion, another 2.8 billion. Every month, $3 billion, $3 billion. You know, it's a lot of money.
My favorite part about that room was that the poll. I would have thought the way it was framed that ad money would have been a bigger, more popular option, and it was the least popular. Last I had looked, only 5% had indicated that they wanted to add more money to the system.
Isn't it interesting how when you say if we were to cut 20 billion from the budget, that would start to solve the problem, and then that immediate response, which basically negates the frame, and the frame being that the budget and the debt are connected, and to not make adjustments is never going to reduce the debt. So you pointed it out pretty quickly what immediate speakers, had to say about funding cuts. But would you, want funding cuts if you were connected to that beautiful spice flow?
I think tomorrow's going to be a good day. It's going to be a banger day on Clubhouse streets.
Hey, John, I'll promise to contribute to the campaign if you burn that shirt.
Yeah, I know, it's brutal, right?
It's fucking awful, bro. I'm not trying to be too critical.
So I think I bought this thing on eBay, and it's clean and it's dry clean. So that's the only reason why why I'm wearing it now. But it is such an uncomfortable shirt. It's unbelievable.
Did it come with that orange soda or that yoo-hoo or whatever the hell you're drinking?
No, that's a Miller High Life with some grapefruit juice in it.
Oh, nice. That's like a spaghetti, right? Almost.
I call it a beer mose. Yeah, I guess a spaghetti. Who ate on my spaghetti? Dude is a very chill dude. I think he was very happy that we read that Dao De Jing. So, dude, how would you rate my performance as a candidate congressman for the 16th district using Clubhouse as our base of operations?
How many hits did you get on the reading the Constitution?
I think it could probably total around 10,000 views. But I filmed the Serb Fest here, where all these beautiful Serbian women were dancing like medieval style dances, and that also got 10,000 plus views. So it's pretty much the algorithm clocks it. If you upload good content, you're gonna get 500 to 1.5 thousand views. And the better it is, the more views you're gonna get. If your video sucks, the algorithm knows, but it clocks you and gives you so many views every day. And the most you can upload is 14 shorts a day.
What was this Serbian dance fest today that you got 10,000 views on?
You'd have to go to John_Kitover_Congressman on YouTube to see the videos.
John, why do you think you trigger so many people?
It's basically because I respond to people and communicate with people. And, I think the sociopaths or the psychopaths amongst us, those people make, constant and never ending death threats on this app for 20, 30 minutes at a time. I think it's people like that, trigger a lot of people also. I just think that saying $37 trillion out loud and then 100 trillion or 110 trillion behind that in unfunded debt liabilities, it may make people feel a little uneasy about the future, but the whole secret is to know that the now is a compression of the past and the future. I'm playing a very complicated political game, aka a word game, which requires influence or persuasion or intelligent transmission of truths to establish credibility and trust in your new leader, candidate Congressman John Kitover in the 16th District.
Did you know that some of the people that have been outspoken against your campaign were so hostile towards you before this? Like it was. Is any of this new? Is any? Because I know you were surprised when certain people supported you. Are there examples of people that you're surprised that didn't come out to support you?
No, I think the responses that I've heard today against me, especially with the stolen valor stuff, is basically what people do. They basically did their pattern on me. They projected on me the same pattern that they do every day onto other people. So I'm used to the barbecue party being either the center of the roast or being one of the people roasting somebody in the room. So, self-deprecation and allowing yourself to get roasted, though it's a huge waste of time, I feel like the content is worth it. Because to get somebody with Brad's voice attacking me, on Clownhouse for free is, there's a time value money creation there. And since I'm live streaming and running for Congress, like, it's worth it. So the people that haven't, come out to support me, I think that over the next couple months, when I show them and you show them and other people show them what kind of impact we're having on the ground, especially with gathering signatures, it's all momentum. And I know it can be done because there's a lot of disaffected people out there that do not like their government, that do not like their representative. And you can go to Darren LaHood's X account and go in the comment section and you can read them yourself. People hate this guy. People are basically making death threats against him in the comments all the time. So he's not liked amongst his constituents. Now, they may not be Republicans who are shitting on him, but there are enough psychotic posts in his responses that, to know that there are a lot of people that do not like him. And so anyways, I'm just saying, I hope more people in Clownhouse support me because I do want to use this as the conference call HQ for the campaign because it's free, it's easy, and it's transparent and immediate. So people have never used this app to thoroughly launch a business or an endeavor or a campaign. So I hope to be one of the first people to successfully, do organizing on it with an actual result outcome, which is victory and defeating Darren LaHood.
Did you just say with a straight face, no one on Clubhouse has ever started a business? Or used Clubhouse to start a business?
No, to use it as their conference call HQ, meaning their work team meetings.
That's actually not true, but okay.
Okay, well, tell me why I'm wrong. You don't have to tell me I'm wrong. Just go ahead and give me the opposite. Stop wasting everybody's time over here. Because I've never seen it done. You know what I see get done on this app all day long, every day? Road raging, crash out, road rage, crash out, road rage, crash out. That's what people come here for. It's a NASCAR race. It is road rage, crash out, road rage, crash out, road rage, crash out. That's all that happens on this app. Why do you think people come here? It's for that dopamine. It's bum fights in a social audio app.
Okay, well, you're right about that. which is why people either hate you or love you if you're keeping a record of that when they don't see the replays on button.
Rohan, do you think maybe that's one of your biggest critiques of me is that I've got recordings of you doing road rage, crash shot, road, or what is it, Rohan? Is it the style in which I arrange the YouTube channel, or the way I sort the videos in playlists? What is it about my artistic recording endeavors that gets you so angry about, my recordings? Is it a thought that you're associated with me in some far-off video that you can't find anymore because I've put up 20,000 plus videos on YouTube, and the sheer magnanimity or magnanimous number of videos is just so impenetrable that it's not worth your time to even spend 3 minutes looking at one single video? Because I gotta tell you, there's so much content that when I go and I look at it, I immediately click off because I don't even want to look at it because it's just too much. But knowing that you might be in it somewhere, that thought, that brilliant idea you had that got captured in the live stream, what is it exactly? Is it a you problem?
Come
Is it a
on,
me
you're totally
problem?
gaslighting him. He told you it's way, he made it clear what his objection was, and you're just gaslighting him. Rohan's one of the good guys in this group.
This is true. This is true. John, what about gathering comedians from the Chicago area, inviting them to Clubhouse, and tell them to participate in a Darren LaHood roast, and then stream that live under a YouTube channel in the name of Darren LaHood? That would get his attention for sure. And anybody that wants to use it. In fact, make sure that you find criticisms of him that his opponents that are Democrats would like to soundbite, and then maybe even just send those sound bites to those candidates.
Now that's a great idea.
Well, I gotta tell you, recruiting comedians in the Chicagoland area is not necessary, Mojo, because you may not be aware of this, but I have officially relabeled Clown House as the new name for Clubhouse. So technically, this is a clown training university, otherwise known as a circus. To find comedians outside of this app would be a waste of our time because they're here right now.
Yeah, but they're as funny as you are. Come on.
No, it's true. Wait till you see how the Dr. Adams, Darren LaHood campaign video, it's already getting a lot of views. So the thing is, if I had the money, which we do now have about $1,000, I could run these Dr. Adams, Darren LaHood videos in Rockford, in Peoria, Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, right now, and get 10,000 views. It's a question of, what's the cost per click? What's the CPM? Is it affordable? Can we actually get views in these districts, in the top towns? So I'm gonna start setting up some Google ads and X accounts and Reddit ads, and at least spend $100 here, $100 there soon. But really the priority is the signatures. But the digital campaign component of this strategy in this campaign is very important. I mean, we need media buying. That's how Pritzker won Illinois, and that's how we're going to win District 16. So if you haven't contributed yet, look in the chat, posting it again, see if it goes through it. No? But today's been another day of collections. I think we did $25 or $10, but maybe we got to do a refund. Yeah, we got to do a refund. But the money bomb, I think, Mojo, the sooner you create an X account, the better, because I think your magic is going to work over there as well. You just have to get that account and work your mojo.
Yeah, I think get that up and running, and get the right people connected. Try to get a room together that invites influential people. I would like to. There's a few people that I know that have some pretty fucking massive accounts up there. If I could frame it right, they would show up. It would have to be framed of just talking talking about the debt. That way I can invite like libertarians and Republicans. My old account, like I had Thomas Massey following me, so like nuking that account was a dumb thing. It's a very dumb thing. But I can reestablish those connections pretty easily. Yeah.
So we also have young Augustus Palante on the team, who has worked on the Kennedy campaign, and he holds pretty big rooms at X with hundreds of people. And if we did a money bomb with him, he received a campaign payment for creatives that we would run on X, and he would promote, that investment in him as an influencer and creator for the campaign can possibly have 10x, 100x, big implications. So the sooner we work with him to get an X room going and scheduled, and actually schedule it and have a creative made, the sooner we can build a room with 900 people in there, or maybe 2,000 people, or 5,000 people. You never know, because at peak times, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the rooms are in the thousands. So it's just a question of having that one key influencer who can basically, be the moderator.
Is that why he's not on Clubhouse anymore? He moved to X?
Yeah, he does X rooms all the time. A lot of UFO stuff.
Yeah, I know his content.
But he posts a lot of political stuff.
Nothing about what you're gonna do.
Hey, Next, did you like that reading of the Constitution last night? I mean, the Declaration of Independence? It was great.
Can you answer my question?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your question, Dr. Next?
What are your actual policies and plans to do anything? Because the only thing is you have plans to win and to gather money for a campaign. I haven't heard you talk about anything that people should want to give you money for.
Well, see, I believe that the now is all important, so I'll tell you right now why people in the 16th District should vote for me. The number one reason is property taxes. The number two reason is income taxes. And the number three reason is the federal and the state debt. Those are the three primary reasons why the constituents in the 16th District should vote for candidate Congressman John Kitover instead of Darren LaHood, who's created $20 trillion in debt, $2 trillion a year for 10 years. That's $20 trillion. Oh, I'm complaining. Clown House is a complaint submission form. You guys proved it. This past 2 hours, all you guys did is complain about candidate Congressman John Kitover and his live streaming activities. Okay, this is a complaint receipt form, and I'm just filling out the form. Here are my receipts. You asked me for the complaints, I'm giving them to you. So if you don't like my response, well then that's not a me problem. You know what that is? That's called a you problem.
What is your policy on property taxes? You're campaigning because you haven't offered anything. You say, hey, here's the problems, but you offer no solutions.
Stop borrowing, stop spending. Stop borrowing, stop spending. Stop borrowing, stop spending. Say it with me now. Stop borrowing, stop spending. Say it with me. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you the answer you're looking for.
Hold on, guys. He's going to introduce a balanced budget amendment.
Okay, that sounds like a policy. Why is that not already? Shouldn't that be something you're talking about?
Balanced budget policy. Say it with me. Balanced budget policy. Balanced budget policy.
Yeah, but what are the
Balanced
steps
budget
you're gonna
policy.
do to
Balanced budget policy. Say it with me next. You're not saying it. Balanced budget policy. Balanced budget policy. Balanced budget policy. But
in all seriousness, if protest behind you, I want to know why. Do you have your policies posted on your website?
I've been slowly accumulating policy positions and position statements using Grok and X, so it's all on social media.
The goal is to have everything published on the website by September the 1st.
Got it.
Yeah. And I could literally knock this out in a weekend. I could do this very quickly. I've created many websites in my life.
You can talk about?
Sorry, next.
Well, hold on. I just want to. Look, we're talking to state policy creation networks that advocate for policy and submitting ideas to them, getting them pressure tested. And when that feedback loop is back, we'll be able to publish these ideas. The thing is that you don't want to just simply blurt out a policy idea. You want to work with professionals that write policy. And you want to make sure that that you're doing it in a way that is going to that's going to be likely to impact it and have change.
So basically,
There's no point in hold on. Don't fucking interrupt me, you retard. Here, let me finish what I'm saying, you retard. The reality is this. If you're going to introduce a balanced budget amendment, you want to make sure that you're introducing a proposal that has a chance to gain support.
isn't that already in the works right now? Why do you?
Nobody's proposing these ideas because everyone's afraid to propose them. There's people to talk.
I gotta say, I dealt with what's his name down there, the grizzly bear, Nax, last night when I was reading the Declaration of Independence, and eventually I just moved him down. But I tolerated him for quite a while, and every single time I read from the Declaration, he would shut up, and then he'd go back on again, go back off again, go back on. It was impressive.
He's new to this app, and he doesn't understand how social audio works. Plus, he's on club deck, so then he speaks on his fucking shitty mic and just like mumbles while people are talking, and it takes a few seconds to even recognize that he is speaking. Once he figures this thing out, I don't think he's going to contribute anything positive, but at least he won't be the dumbest person on this app.
You left out the massive amounts of alcohol.
Well, I had another banger day here in Clown House. I mean, honestly, I hate being the center of attention. But today, when that pot was stirring, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do what I wanted to do today. I'm going to sit here and stir this pot with Brad all day long. And then when I posted receipts on the other accounts with my military ID and my VA card, I think that's what, won him over. And I got to say, I love the Irish, but instead of making death threats all day and doing libel and slander, I would just make a shepherd's pie and relax, on a beautiful afternoon in your canoe with your dog and just eat that delicious shepherd's pie that you baked so hard on clearing his.
Or haggis.
I would have thought that he would have backed you. I heard his policy, prescriptions for 4 years. I would have just thought that you guys would have been natural allies in what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, what's interesting is I've heard him in every single room there. See, he's like a force of nature, and that's what I, fear but also like about him, is that he goes on these rants in other rooms as well, and a lot of these other rooms listen to him and tolerate him because of the presence. But, I didn't really think about whether he would help me or support me, but based on interactions, you just never know. And you never know until somebody is confronted with the option and a link to give you $1, $10, $100, $500. Until someone hits you up for a campaign contribution, or as if they're trying to get you to invest in a multi-level marketing scam, because in a way, it is all kind of a Ponzi scheme or some type of a scheme. So, but the thing is, running for Congress is it's because it's just real, It's hard to believe that it only took me 15 minutes. I'm not making this up. It took me 15 minutes to file to run for Congress. So what I don't understand is all these social media influencers who are chasing likes and literally on a Friday, Saturday, they have anxiety of if their likes or follows went up or down, All these people should literally be running for Congress because it only takes you 15 minutes to file, apparently, especially in the state of Illinois. I know you said other states had filing fees, but I don't know. I was kind of shocked how easy it was to file because filing for committeemen, talk about ballot access, committeemen, which is a know-nothing position other than a name and an email on the GOP website, you have to go downtown and submit a complicated file. Like, it's a lot of work to file to run for office in Chicago through the Chicago Election Commission. But to run for Congress, an incredibly complicated, difficult, and huge position with giant budget responsibilities, took me as an American 15 minutes to file. So the experience itself of doing this is mind-blowingly, like, it's mind-blowing. I know maybe people can't do it if they're working a job or something, but basically being in front of the camera and trying to run for Congress, I'm surprised more people don't do it, or you don't see more fringe people running for office. There are, but see, the thing is, they're always on the left. There are always a lot of liberals, and they get a lot of virality on TikTok, and they raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. One girl is running in Jan Schakowsky's district here in Chicago. She's like a liberal Muslim whack job, but she could win, and she's got a lot of money. So, this is politics. It's really interesting, and it's fun. And Mojo, I thank you, because, without your help, this would basically just be the John show every day, and nobody would show up. But you have that special Mojo spice, and this, I think, is how, systems get optimized and people get optimized. Being in a safe space to let people, scream their heads off about homicidal ideation all day long, I suppose. Whatever stirs the pot and creates some gossip, but I think people need to listen to some of these replays and scratch their head and say, that one's a little intense, kind of like, what's that Robert De Niro film, Cape Fear or something, that type of guy. I don't know. Maybe some people got tattoos on their knuckles on this app. I don't know.
Wait, this is a safe space?
Well, we used to have a tagline in Healthy Debates that we were not a safe space, we were a brave space.
Yeah, that sounds more realistic.
I'm just saying, in a campaign video, if you see Clubhouse tattooed, with marker on my fingers, and I'm doing a pull-up at the park, and I'm going, Darren, the hood. This is a joke.
Yeah, but clown is 2 minutes left. You're gonna have to go with club.
You know what would be great? We should get people to show up with the same Darren LaHood PTR that Adams has, and pretend that they are in opposition, asking questions, and then you give logical answers, and then have them change their mind, and have some of them hold their ground, but have a couple of them go, you know what, I think you're very reasonable, I'm actually going to make a donation. I think that would be fucking hilarious, and then send that to Democrats.
I agree. See, this is why I think literally you can win a campaign just sitting in an office to a certain degree. I know you have to get signatures and make the filings to get on that ballot in the primary, but like you said, if everybody would consent and agree to play this game and help me create content, and we were to run it, it would get a lot of attention. Now, even if people see the live stream of us discussing this operation, in the name of politics, I don't think it violates any rules. And, the fact that Adams came in here with a Darren LaHood PTR, which was genuine, he is that contrarian who's on this app who claims that my recordings, these illicit recordings, but I like to call them explicit recordings, for some reason it has ticked people off and they want to attack, as opposed to being in the now. Some people come on this app to attack and to road rage, and you detect that pattern in those people all the time. So I just think, if I'm holding up a candle and moths want to fly into the candle while I'm holding it, we'll let them fly into the candle. That's fine, they're just moths. Whew.
People in Texas don't fuck around with each other because everybody looks like I'm a gun. It kind of keeps you accountable.
I think that some of the opposition that you're getting has nothing to do with you running at all. I think some people are cranky with you because of your history in recording rooms. I think that's true. But I also think some people are just being performative of okay, John's getting some attention. If I can throw myself into a conflict with them, then that'll give me some attention. And that's what I think is fueling it for some people. And then I think there's other people that legitimately just
find you like Italy because of the recordings.
Well, it could also be my personality. I'm not saying I'm the most intelligent, charming, or handsome, or sophisticated individual on the planet. I mean, for God's sakes, I'm recording Clown House. You know, this wasn't necessarily my career choice, postgraduate college. It just seems to have been a calling and a tie-in to a political campaign that will hopefully enlighten people and wake people up to the fact that Kitover is awake and Illinois is awake, and we're not going to let Darren LaHood get away with voting on any more HR acts to the tune of $2 trillion a year over 10 years, which is $20 trillion, which is, you know, 5 Apple corporations. And just think about how many people here look at their Apple phone all day long. That's a primary consumer product. You can't just create 5 Apple corporations out of thin air, but the government has over the course of 20 years. So that's a huge redistribution of wealth, a huge taxation scheme through inflation, let alone unfair flow of those dollars to a lot of woke spending, which nobody knows is happening. I have recordings. I haven't. It's published now, but I have a video of an internal IRS video of pronoun training by an LGBTQ coordinator at the IRS that I was forced to sit through for an hour and a half on pronoun training and how to communicate with the LGBTQ community. That type of insane waste of time for government employees, let alone there's somebody's job who does LGBTQ training at the Treasury Department professionally, is such a waste of time and money. It's that type of fraud, waste, and abuse that I want to expose that is going to enrage people who pay 40% of their hard labor to an organization that shakes you down at a taxpayer service center, which I used to help, floor plan and build. But nonetheless, it's time now for liberty to stir once again in the womb of time. But are you willing to send $1? We don't even have the link up. And I'm only at 14%. Ugh. I don't know. Can anybody give me some positive, constructive feedback to help propel this campaign to the next stage and next level?
Well, Abby just came here, and I know that Abby cares a lot about who goes to Congress. Abby, what's the number one issue for you to decide? Okay, I can get behind this guy. I can't. Now, I understand that because you're a Republican, you might already favor a different Republican, but just in general, forget about John. What is what would be the one issue that would be like, yep, if they're good on that, I'll probably vote for them.
First of all, I have to endorse a candidate that's a incumbent that is supporting the issue that's important to me. So I just need to say that. But what do I care about the most right now and how they vote?
Yeah, if there was if you were stack ranking them of is there one issue that if they were wrong on it, even if they had 9 out of the other top 10, you'd still be like, nope, I can't support them. What is the most important thing to you?
My safety and security. Very concerned. That's probably the most important. Is how they fare on the issue of what's affecting me personally the most, which would be my safety and security, and the fight against the hatred I'm dealing with now. Second issue would be the economy. So it'd be ranking it that way. And the safety and security also is dealing not just with my life in the United States, but also it involves foreign policy as well. Then I care about capital gains.
John, do you have a policy on capital gains?
Yeah, I mean, we're taxed at an insane rate, and the burdensome process of filing your trades every year with the IRS to pay your capital gains tax on it, it's insane. And your IRA, your SEP IRA, your Roth IRA, these investment vehicles are additional taxation burdens and compliance issues with the IRS. I say open the muff, go in with a new investment vehicle approach that eliminates taxation, whether you want to withdraw prematurely to retirement, but give people a tax haven to invest in the stock market.
What would you do with the rate on the capital gains tax?
I would lower it significantly. I would lower it to 1% for the next, 6 years if I got into Congress. That would be my proposal.
So you would reduce it to 1%. Interesting.
1%. That's
How
all
are you going to
people
make
got
up
up
that
there.
revenue?
Oh, very easily. We're going to stop borrowing and spending. Say it with me. Stop borrowing, stop spending. Come on, Abby, will you say it with me? Let's stop borrowing.
I'm in a
stop
different
spending.
place than you, my dear. Sorry. I just don't want it raised from where it is right now. What about the corporate tax rate?
Gotta lower that too.
1031 exchanges. How do you feel about 1031 exchanges?
Feel like that's another tax scheme, and all I gotta say is let's just stop taxing. Let's stop borrowing.
Right, so do you know what they are? Or are you going to quickly look it up?
What kind of an investment vehicle is it, Abby? Tell us.
The 1031 exchange is a real estate like kind exchange.
Oh, well, that sounds great.
Kamala Harris wanted to abolish it.
Oh, she also wanted to provide transgender illegal aliens and prisoners sex change operations at the expense of the taxpayer.
Has the room been straight about politics, Roger?
We've been talking about all kinds of stuff.
Has anyone talked about like where Trump is right now, the Putin meeting, or?
That's happening tomorrow morning, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be the content of the room tomorrow.
Abby, I'm a big believer in Israel, and I just think that, if we can send any weapons or money to Israel, we should give them basically carte blanche service for whatever they need. I mean, to me, there's no external country other than, America being number one. Israel's my number two. And so I'm just saying, if you're not willing to give $10 to the campaign to elect John Kitover, a Service Connect disabled veteran living in Chicago, fighting for America first and Israel second, I just can't understand. You're a successful attorney. You give me so much criticism. I'm just asking you for $10, 10 not 11, 10 not 9.
I just told you, number one, I support an incumbent that supports our issues. So, and we endorse your opponent. My PAC's already endorsed your opponent. So, no, I cannot give you money. And wish you luck in the process, but you're not going to win me on that one. We've already endorsed him.
Can you tell us how
he's in our portal? Both my portals. So,
what we should think about the 1031 you brought up?
I think it's an important vehicle of investment, and I think that when I looked at Harris's plan to abolish it, as well as her tax on unrealized gains, which was just insane. It's just a litany of things in the Democratic platform on their tax platform that was just really problematic. But she also wanted to increase capital gains. Originally, it was to ordinary income, and then it came down to I believe it was 28%. I can't remember, but she came down a little bit from the ordinary income rate. But I think like-kind exchanges are an important investment vehicle. There was just a number. I'd have to find it and read you what was in their proposal, but there was a lot of concerning stuff. The tax on unrealized gains made no sense. In light of the fact that you could be losing the money and still taxed on it. We talked ad nauseum about that in these rooms during the election. But
Abby, I know you're not going to contribute to the campaign, but you have now contributed in another way. Thank you for the clip.
What am I clipping?
You're now in a campaign video on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
You do not anything on your YouTube channel or anything regarding a campaign.
I'm sorry, but please refer to the room title. We are being live streamed to YouTube. Do you consent? Look at the title.
We're not using anything on a campaign. You need to hear my words very clearly. You do not use any.
Too late, Abby. We got you with APEC. Thank you very little.
Expectation of privacy and
Thank you very little, Abby.
I don't know what an expectation of privacy is. I think a fucking lawyer, I have a feeling if she were to do oblivion, she would do it in probably about 45
also it's said in
You're
the
missing
title of the
fucking
room.
point. You're challenging an actual lawyer. Probably a dumb fucking thing to do when you're not a practicing lawyer yourself.
It's actually in the room title, so you have no case.
You're missing the fucking point.
Very
There's a
clearly.
lawyer.
Not really.
If she wanted to sue you, she could easily sue you. It
Who
would
are you
be
talking
fucking hard. You are not a
Wait, hold on.
How do you know I'm not?
Hold on. Everyone mute up. That includes you, Mike. If you're gonna sue somebody, you're gonna have to prove damages. Prove your damages.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessary.
Well, I
If
think
you have no damages, you're not gonna get anything.
I think with my videos today of Brad libeling and slandering me, I have recordings and live stream audio in other clubhouse rooms. I'm just saying, like, would I be able to get compensation from Brad to the tune of $50,000 to help fund the campaign?
He was giving an opinion. He was giving an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he did say that he wasn't a veteran and he had stolen valor.
He said it was his
Prove
opinion.
it caused extreme emotional distress. There's 4 elements.
Okay, everybody, I just need to remind you that you are in a room called We Are Being Live Streamed to YouTube. Do you consent? So don't forget, this is all being streamed to YouTube Live as well as X and Clubhouse. So every word you say will be recorded and put on other platforms. The question is, do you consent?
You consent by coming into the room.
It's such a weird, funny game, isn't it?
No,
Yeah. That doesn't give you the right to then edit it and use it for your campaign. That's a different beast.
and I made it clear, you're not.
See, anyone could sue you for payment. Doesn't
Well,
have to be
the thing is, I
Their own money. If it happens to be a SAG actor, oh my God,
see what I am maybe worried about.
That's appropriation of person.
What I am worried about is that I put that out stating that an APAC representative has attacked candidate Congressman Kitover on behalf of the Darren LaHood campaign. So I'm just wondering, is the title...
I'm not an APAC representative. I'm not. So I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm not.
Well, you said it was your pack. I mean, you can go back and watch the live
that's
stream.
not my pack.
I'm just saying, watch the live stream and don't forget,
I
don't...
made it very clear, it's not my pack.
Abby, don't forget, you're in a room called We're Being Live Streamed to YouTube. Do you consent? Because everything you said is on YouTube Live, and you can watch the replay. People are gonna hate me. Why are you gonna hate me? This is funny.
YouTube Live? Really? Alright, I think there is a weird thing going on with different abled couples. How about that? There we go. Hot take. YouTube Live. Get it, lady. Do it, lady.
What is a different abled couple exactly, specifically?
Alright, so I got you. Shut up. I got you. Alright, so there's a husband that has a muscular dystrophy.
has a muscular wasting disease. He's confined to a chair. And his wife is not. She's like regular smoking hot. So my brain, when I see that, automatically goes, she's either cheating on him, has a fetish, has a savior complex, etc., etc. There's no way in my brain.
Wait, did he have the muscular dystrophy?
Yeah, he's like kind of like that, like
No,
kind of like.
Did he have it before they met, or did he get
Yes. No, he's had it. He looks like.
No, you're saying that he
Wait,
gets
hold on. What does this have to do with the campaign? Hey, what does this have to do with the campaign for John Kitover?
Nothing. I was trying to change the subject.
Oh, well, how about this? The next person that gives a $10 donation to the John Kitover campaign is next topic.
So I can.
It's a great idea.
My topic.
You know what, Mojo? I can't put the link in the chat anymore, but if you want to turn it into a money bomb, a 1 a.m. super money bomb, I'd be willing to stay up for another 20 minutes to facilitate that super money bomb fundraiser. And I want to thank Abby for the clips, because even though you may not be a contributor.
Hold on. Don't do that yet.
Well, you can say
Hold on. Go ahead and share the link on topic. But I think that this might be the new strategy, is that we can if people give to the campaign, we'll allow them to pick the topic. In fact, if they give to the campaign, I'll look for people who do.
People gotta
I
pay
think they
for
will
it.
do too.
People
Hey,
gotta
why
pay
are you
for it.
interrupting? Are you fine? What's happening?
I think y'all were interested in my story, and maybe if you put me up to tell a story, people will.
Wait, if you want to talk about that, you have to give $10 to the campaign.
That's garbage. Campaign shit, and you.
I will comply as long as I can quote the topic that I choose in the donation.
The donation has to be a minimum of $10. Yes. And I will keep that topic alive for at least 1 hour.
Wow, this is a great new strategy. We would have raised $120 or even $180 a day if we had this hour, power hour every hour. I would say that if people aren't willing to put up, I ask them to just shut up. If you want a topic in a category, you're gonna have to pay for it now.
And we can send people to the goo for $1 a minute.
Roger,
Yeah.
any subject?
Let's run it like a real clown house show.
Do you really want to let me choose the topic?
That's what I'm saying, Roger. Any topic for tonight?
If you $10, you can pick the topic, and we'll talk about it for an hour.
What type of, where do I donate?
The only exceptions is you have to look at the rules, and you can't violate the house rules.
I'm gonna put on my attorney hat. Give me a moment.
Okay, the title's been updated to $10 a topic. Campaign candidate Congressman John. Link is
Roger,
above.
spirit
$10
of-
now.
Are we doing spirit of the house rules, or is it the actual wording?
I'm the ultimate arbiter of what the rule enforcement would be.
Can I suggest, or can we discuss before you put me down when I come up with something bonkers?
If you give the $10 to John Kitover's campaign, I will allow the topic to stand, provided it does not violate any of the rules in the house rules.
But what I'm saying is the spirit of the house rules, or the letter.
Well, I gotta tell you, if you're gonna continue to be this pedantic, I'm gonna say $20, and then you get to pick the topic.
I'm okay with that.
Wait, and no rules for 20?
$50, you can talk about literally anything.
So hit that link above. I'll be monitoring the email. Please let us know after you've made your submission. $100 right now would put us over the top for the day because technically we should be at $180 or $10 an hour minimum. I mean, I know Venezuelan women in the street with children making more than $10 an hour.
So, no, I can't.
Austin, how about this? What's on your mind, and then I'll approve it or deny it based upon whether or not you will agree to give the to give the donation.
I'm happy to give the $20, but like I want to go with something like absurd, uncomfortable, and inappropriate because it feels like a challenge. And
Okay.
the one I came up with felt like, no, I can't do that because.
How about this? I'll help with something absurd. Is Mohammed a pedophile?
That's not strong enough.
Not strong enough?
He wants it really, really bad.
Well, let's test the spirit. You said for $50 you can literally do it.
If I'm going places like NAMBLA and that kind of thing, that's not. I don't want to do that.
That's what's on your mind tonight?
That's not on my mind, but that was a place I was going for this, and it seems wrong.
Dark Eagles one.
That sounds racist.
Yeah, but a little bit, but not really. Here's what I got. What about like whether or not we should keep abortion clinics open for caviar purposes? That type of, if I could reword that.
Well, what if we said instead of throwing dead babies, aborted babies in the garbage, why don't we feed them to alligators? You want that one?
Well, can we make it alligator Alcatraz?
Sure.
Interesting. So, John, where's this link?
Up above.
And what are my payment choices before I spin up a VM?
You can do, I think it's Apple Pay, Google Pay, or credit cards.
There's no crypto? I gotta go steal a fucking credit card to do this.
Oh my god.
I want to know if John's going to keep streaming this on YouTube or he's going to cut it and start again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We're at 1 hour and 21 minutes. I usually try to keep it to 1 hour, so let's do a cut. Thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah, more like the subject matter scares you, I think. Yeah. Austin wants to talk about feeding black aborted babies to alligators.
I'm uncomfortable. I like that. No.
Wasn't that your point, to make us all uncomfortable?
Yes, but not in that. Like, it's funny to make a joke. It's not funny to make fat jokes. For lack of a better way to describe my feeling.
So you have a line of the same morality, it's just a very blurred, weird line.
Let's call it a fat line.
Thick line like the 80s.
Can we call this the Richter scale?
The actor.
So you know what I think about is funny about reporting Clownhouse is if we could get national attention, like a story like candidate Congressman John Kitover has secretly been recording the Clubhouse app for 5 years and publishing it on YouTube and Instagram, something like that. What I'm trying to say is that people might think I'm weird or I'm crazy, but I'm recording rooms of weird, crazy people. I'm mirroring them, filming myself, so a third party can listen to people on Clownhouse be crazy and weird. And I'm just saying that, I don't know how that helps the campaign, but it sure would be funny, if the world found out about Clownhouse through candidate Congressman John Kitover.
Said every Catholic priest ever.
Yeah, I think the world already knows about Clubhouse and forgot about it. and let's just leave Tea Barn. Any publicity is too
Are you serious? A free telephone conference call app that only like 1 out of 1,000,000 people know about? Please, dude, this app could get publicity. It doesn't get publicity. Why do you think they created Anonymous?
Oh my god, dude. Wait, where were you season 1?
I was here on Clownhouse screaming about the COVID-19 vaccines, recording myself talking to people on Clownhouse.
And you don't remember all the big names that were here?
Listen, it's all a blur at this point, and I gotta tell you, if you're not contributing $1 at least, or $10 right now, I gotta say, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I'll tell you, now that I know how to compare time to money because of a 48-hour, super cycle of fundraising, I gotta say, I think I'm gonna start, tracking how much I'm talking, because literally, I'll have to stop talking and just try to really focus the conversation and tie it to dollars, because to sit here, till February and have these endless conversations, it's got to be, scheduled and really juicing. So multiple platforms, super money bombs, stir the pot for limited time cycles, and, basically try to limit how much time is required in running for Congress and optimizing donations and organizations. So without your dollar right now, this is just another waste of time. So consider that. Are you a part of the problem, or are you part of the solution?
Congratulations, you're now a politician and a whore.
Yeah, isn't that true? Isn't that true? That's what an escort tries to say.
So, you can go out there. Hey, I can't wait to hear your policy stuff. I might still give you a hard time, but just because it's an easy shot. But if Mojo's behind you, I wouldn't be lying, that's for sure. When you get your policy on the website, I'm checking out.
Okay, I'll let you know. It's gonna be Grok AI assistant, policy.
And like I was being very serious, you do have a pretty good sense of humor.
This girl on Hinge a couple months ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, she was texting me saying she's basically a sugar baby. And I said, so you're telling me you're a sugar baby, but you're also telling me that you're not a sugar baby. And so I just, it was like a long exchange of, if anyways, I'm just saying that,
You were unhinged, what did you expect?
Well, I'm not willing to pay for the presence of a beautiful young woman when I can go to the beach and there's 100 of them in the immediate vicinity.
Okay, I take it back. You were no longer a politician.
Well, you know what Pepe told me? He said, you should have fucked her and not given her any money. That's what Pepe told me. So I'm just wondering, William, what would you do if a beautiful woman, offered herself up to you? No, I'm just reiterating a story that I shared in a room that Pepe was in. I'm just asking you, what kind of man are you, William?
I have never paid for sex. I got paid once by a check $20 because I need gas money and I was young. But, I believe you have the right to prostitution. You have the right to sell your body if that's what you want to do. But personally, no, never done it, never will.
It's not what I was asking you, but I understand now your position and the black hole PTR that you project. That is a beautiful PTR of what is it, the black hole sun, what is it called when the sun goes in front? The moon goes in front? An eclipse. You are an eclipse, William. William the eclipse. What does an eclipse mean to you, William?
It's the most magical spiritual experience you can have. What was your question? You're asking whether I think you should have sued the prostitute and not paid her?
No. I'm past that now. I figured that part out.
No, I'm just saying that if you're a politician and you're not suing prostitutes, I'm not sure you're going to go too far.
Well, thanks for eclipsing the previous statement once again. William the Eclipse, everybody. Well, it's $10 a topic. Let's check the email. Let's see if there's any sleeper cells in the audience looking to send 10, not 11, 10, not $9. Nope. Damn it. I really thought, this is about what I expected. In fact, I gotta say, Mojo, I'm actually blown away. I thought maybe like $100 we would raise, or even $10, but, $510 to me is good enough. That is a cornerstone which will help build this campaign for pennies on the dollar. Because honestly, you can't make money unless you can basically get free clicks and do a spam operation. Because I've been involved in a lot of spam operations in my life working in digital advertising, and let me tell you, deceptive advertising is one of the biggest problems in the world today. Criminal enterprises creating fake advertisements, scamming people all around the world, all the time. It's a big business opportunity. But you just have to send us $10 right now, 10 not 11, 10 not 9 to the campaign to elect John Kitover. Now, I'm not...
But have you heard about iOS 26, where you'll no longer be able to send text or phone messages if you're not in my contact list? Those days are over.
Yeah, I know. Spam is a limited, revenue opportunity with some potential legal ramifications. I know Scott Richter, who owns Affiliate.com and Platinum 84 Strip Club in Denver, and he's one of the most successful spammers of all time. He was on the Daily Show known as the King of Spam. And now he goes from casino to casino creating YouTube videos as Lucky Jackpot, the big jackpot winner. And he has a YouTube publishing business of him playing slot machines. And he's making millions of dollars recording himself playing slot machines. Think about that one. Because a lot of people love slot machines.
There's a special place in hell for people like that, if you believe in that list.
Well, one of the sons is trans, the other looks straight, but, I'm just saying, if your wife happens to commit suicide in her bed, and your children walk in on that, that could scar people for life, and you could become trans because you got politically woke, and your dad was a spammer. Tragedy strikes people, not everything is perfect in life. But I will say $37 trillion is not perfect. And if Thomas Massey and Rand Paul and Ron Paul and a couple other Congress people, literally less than 12, are talking about this, there's a bigger problem than we know about.
Yeah, you kind of crossed the line there with that, bro.
Yeah, too many details, but I'm just merely sharing the story of a spam king who I, enjoy and am proud to know and have spent many weekends with. He might become a campaign contributor. You never know. So the evening is rapidly winding down in the muff, and I gotta say the sheets are clean, and everybody's ready for bed. So we'll see. Are you ready to open up that wallet, take out that MasterCard, stick it into the Antidote website, and send $100 right now for this incredible Clubhouse experience? Just look at Dr. Adams down in the audience, waiting to come up on stage to shit talk the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. He's a Darren LaHood lifer, doesn't even live in the district, lives in Southern California, but here he is, already politically activated for Darren LaHood without Darren having to lift a finger. God works in mysterious ways. We'll see. Are you ready to contribute $10 to the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover right now? Are you ready? We'll see. This is a limited time opportunity. We'll see. We're about to go to sleep. And we're waiting to find out if we'll see $10 from you. Messi gave $10 to the campaign, didn't you, Messi? Are you ready to give another $10 right now? No? Messi? Oh, he's ready. Click that link above. Pull out that wallet. Pray on it. Put it at the center of your heart. Look inside yourself and say, if I was running for Congress, would John give me $10 to run for Congress? Of course he would. Here's $10 right now. Give it to John and he'll give it back to you in seed blessings. Dr. Adams down there with his rageaholic mentality, screaming all the time about big back women. Well, you too are needed in the campaign, Dr. Adams, and we hope that you change your PTR and come over to the campaign to elect John Kitover. The time is now. Where's Darren LaHood right now? He's not here consulting you, giving you great words of wisdom, peace, and comfort, ASMR joy. No. He's spending the time in his multi-million-dollar mansion with $10 million in his candidate campaign fund and another $20 million in his bank account from his law firms nationwide that his father runs. You know, this is a grassroots movement, and you're resisting grassroots. How dare you? What kind of patriotic American are you? But we need you, Dr. Adams, and you're already in the campaign materials as being a campaign aide to Darren LaHood. Possibly he'll give you a job because you're the first person to do anything about it, so you never know. This could be an opportunity for you too, Dr. Adams. Okay, Messi, take it away. Been a lot of fun. Too bad Dr. Adams is not on the John boat. He's on the Darren LaHood vaccine train. $20 trillion debt train. What a traitor. I hope everybody here remembers how Dr. Adams has endorsed Darren LaHood and going against Clubhouse John Kitover. His own kind. What a hypocrite. What a traitor. If there was a Clubhouse Constitution and a declaration, I'd have you arrested on Clownhouse, Dr. Adams.
I thought that was your point, Roger.
I love that.
You like that he's supporting John's competition?
He can support whoever he wants. He's a grown-ass man.
I'd say shame on you, Dr. Adams. You know, you put a lot of stuff in the chat about your family name and all this money and how you could win.
Oh God, does it not get old, John?
It's just wild. Like, I like it because, you know.
You're just jealous. You're just jealous because it was published.
Hey, what we're not gonna do is Adam slander, we're just not gonna have it. Look, he's one voter for Darren LaHood, and he can't even vote for him. Adams is a good guy.
He's a felon, or does he got money?
That's a good right. Let's not work out the issue.
I agree. I don't think roasting him is the point of this room, but it could be the point of a future room. But I have to say, everyone has their place in the campaign to elect John because Dr. Adams, your latest speech in the room was put on YouTube because you were in a room called Everything in This Room is being live streamed to YouTube. So you consented, and it asked you to consent by asking you, do you consent? That's called a question. And so we have now entered the final stages of today's campaign push here on Clubhouse. You are in the $10 topic room. If you're in the audience and you want to talk about anything under the sun, it's only $10. And this is the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John. But you have to click that link above. It says secure.antidote/campaign to elect John. Kitover, you need to send $10 right now, or $100 if you have it. Dig deep. Hold on to your heart, grab your balls, and get John into Congress. It will require your money. There is no way to do this unless we can buy media and get operations on the ground to get signatures. And we will mass distribute and mass spam a very conservative, libertarian fiscal policy to defeat Darren LaHood, who nobody likes in his district except for a paper tiger Republican Party. They're just a paper tiger Republican Party. That's it. They're just a paper tiger. It's a little clique of just a couple people who think they're so special and so egotistical that the voters can't wake up and get, marketed and activated through social media. The time is now. It's not that complicated. What do you think social media is? It's a spam advertising network. We are going to send intelligent, educated communication, and we hope you'll be a part of this. Dr. Adams is already a part of it, and he hasn't even given $10 like you. So dig deep, grab your heart, grab your balls, and give $100 to the campaign right now. You've got an EIN number, a campaign account number, a bank letter, an FEC filing, financial campaign disclosure. We are set and ready to launch this campaign as soon as possible. but we need to get to thousands of dollars in our checking account, and we need your money now. So I hope this WTTW, National Broadcast Radio, which is now shut down, thank God, is getting to you, the American voter, the American supporter, the American patriot. Thank you very much. This is Candidate Congressman John Kitover wishing you all health, wealth, love, and peace of mind. Dig deep right now. Grab your balls. Grab that wallet. Lean over. Grab your phone. Click the link. Plug in your name. Put in your address. Put in your credit card number and hit submit. Dig deep. Surprise me. Send me 1,000 right now. Surprise me. Surprise the room. Dig deep. Send that $1,000 if you can. You can charge your card $1,000. You can do it right now. Send the money. Dig deep. Grab your balls. Be an American patriot. We are going to blast this message to the heartland of Illinois, where Abraham Lincoln and American patriots used to fight savage Native Americans, where they built a bunker complex up to the heart of Chicago to take it over from a bunch of savage Black Hawk Indians. That's the kind of campaign we're going to lead against Darren the Hood when we defeat him. He is a vaccinologist, $20 trillion debt creator, a broadband infrastructure big spender scammer, $20 trillion in debt, plus $5 trillion a year for 10 years. That's $50 trillion plus $20 trillion. The guy has voted for $70 trillion in spending. $70 trillion, and you can't afford $1, not $10.
For only $1 a day, you can support John Kennedy in the 16th congressional district using Congress.
Wow. Do you see this? Dr. Adams and Brad want to move into an apartment together so they can get residency.
Yeah, that's a little sus right there.
Ooh. Do I hear a romance in the making? Strange bedfellows.
Who thinks the top? Who thinks the top? I mean, we obviously know.
I'm just wondering who will scream more homicidal ideation while they make love. Will it be Dr. Adams or will it be Brad? You know, my dad was a cop for 30 years. He told me his first job was a gay fight where a gay guy was murdered and the other guy had a knife sticking out of his head. Screaming. I am screaming for the hood. I can already see, the funniest thing is I can hear Adam's voice just in text.
Is it as gay in your head as it is in real life?
I don't want to, say anything negative because that could break a house rule, but I just want to say I can hear his voice in my head.
Alright, let's stop talking about it.
So it's $10 a topic. Messi, are you ready to give $10 right now to initiate a topic?
No, more. People talk about it.
Okay, to the goo you shall go. I'm a capitalist, but unfortunately I'm communistically gooing you because this campaign needs dollars. That's $10, $100. We'll see. Are you ready? Or are you ready to get sent to the goo? $10 a topic. We'll see. What do you say? Okay, everybody is asleep. We've put the room to sleep again. This is your late night ASMR Congressman experience. We're going to create an ASMR Congressman experience video right now for the voters of the 16th District, as well as some disgruntled clown house users who hate all of my recordings, even though they can't actually identify a single recording that they hate or a single video that they'd like taken down. All they can do is come on Clown House and complain about everything. It's as if I have single-handedly ruined some people's clubhouse experience, or ruined the potential for a pure clubhouse experience for future people. I don't know. Some people take it so seriously. Okay, it's that midnight hour, so we're gonna do a quick Jewish Torah study for everyone here who is prepared to give 10, not 11, 10, not $9 to the campaign. Click above and send the money now. I'm going to give you that $10 you're looking for. This is called God's speech. God's speech is not like your speech. When you utter a word, the word seems outside of you. But there is nothing outside of God, and no place is empty of him. Even when God speaks and words become worlds, the absolute union of God and creation is unbroken. Hence God is not changed. As breath is veiled in sound, becoming word to a listener, so God's light is veiled in form, becoming creation to the created. God perceives no other, for everything is God, without distinction. This is what is meant when it is written, that darkness and light are the same to God. Even the shells of self are not other than God, just as a turtle shell is not other than a turtle. Thus it is written, Yahweh is Elohim. These are the notes. Deuteronomy 4:35, Yahweh, the four-letter Hebrew name of God, represents the transcendent, and Elohim represents the immanent. Tanya is saying that God is God, from the most sublime to the most mundane levels, from emptiness, ayin, to form, yesh. Nothing is outside of God. Indeed, there is no outside at all. If there is nothing separate from God, if no place is empty of God, why do we feel ourselves to be separate? This is the nature of God's non-duality, shlamut. God cannot be limited to either emptiness, ayin, or form, yesh. God as the infinite, ayin sof, must embrace and transcend them both. The mistake we make is to imagine that the form is somehow other than God, and that the shells that blind us to God are somehow evil and in need of removal. From Tanya's perspective, the shells are as natural to God as a turtle shell is to the turtle. The task of the in-betweener isn't to remove the shells, but to see them as part of God as well. This is what Chokmah wisdom knows, for it reveals the divine suchness, Kok, in all that is Ma. Realizing this is realizing that Yahweh is Elohim. Deuteronomy 4:35. Elohim is a plural noun meaning gods. The plurality designates God's presence in the plurality of the world of form, yesh. Elohim is the one manifest as the many. Yahweh is singular, referring to the transcendent one in and of itself. Yahweh refers to God's essential unity. Okay, if you're entertained, send $10 right now. I hope you like that divine wisdom. This is called Other Gods. Send $10 right now. 10 not 11, 10 not 9. Torah speaks as humans speak, giving the impression of duality. But there is no duality in God, and the one light animates all worlds, including even those mired in self and otherness. Unawakened selves are called other gods, their otherness falsely derived from their imagined distance from God. Perceiving nothing but themselves, they proclaim themselves gods, saying, I am, and there is nothing besides me. Thus, arrogance is the heart of idolatry. But arrogance is rooted in delusion, for there is nothing but God. Adam Kadmon, Atzilut, Bariya, Yetzirah, and Asiya, spirit, soul, mind, heart, and body. Your very existence depends on your capacity to say, I am. The Shema is the faculty that allows this to happen, since God's non-duality, Shlamut, necessitates the existence of a multiplicity of I am. It would be a mistake to imagine that the Shama is evil or that it must be eliminated. The same is true of the Kali Pot, the shells that allow you to see objects as other than yourself, and the Kali Pot of God, the shell of ego, which allows you to be you at all. Everything from the most sublime to the most mundane is part of God's infinite creativity. The problem is not with the Neshama and Kali Pot themselves, but with our ignorance. The problem is not that you say, I am, but that you mistakenly assume there is nothing besides me. This ignorance is maintained by ignoring the fact that you cannot exist alone, that you are not separate from your environment, and that the whole environment, from Adam, Kedmon to Asiya, the first and fifth worlds of divine emanation, is the outpouring of God's creativity. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that reading. That's from the Tanya by the Alter Rebbe. I hope it altered your perception and you enjoyed it. Send $10 right now. There's about 25 of you in the audience. If each one of you just found it in your heart to send $1 right now, we could overturn the world with just a feather. A feather to tickle Dr. Adams. Ha 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 ha. Playing the bells ain't gonna hypnotize people. Oh, really, Adams? It's not gonna work? I bet you'll salivate like a dog. Woo. Let's see here, Adams. Take a deep breath, Adams. Here we go.
John, you have up until the 27th to collect signatures, the 27th of October.
That's soon. It's much sooner than I thought. I thought maybe we'd have till January or February.
Now, you're going to collect them by October 27th, and then between the 27th and November 3rd, that's when they're submitted, along with all the other paperwork, and if you submit it too early, it won't be accepted, and submit it too late, it won't be on the ballot. So, the 27th and the 3rd is very important. And then after the 3rd, they're going to review the filing, verify the signatures, and allow time for challenges. Your opponent to contest the petition if they think the signatures are valid. Once verified, they're officially on the March ballot. So we have between now and October 27th, we've got August, September, October. We've essentially got 2 months to do it.
So let's say 60 days, 2,000 signatures. It's about 30 signatures a day, or more. So it's a lot of signatures.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'll get people involved that can help with that. We're gonna get some libertarians involved, but you're gonna have to give them like 3 reasons to give a shit.
Well, I need to work on it more and stop with all the clubhouse antics. The clubhouse antics are fun, but it's not really getting to the people in 16.
So it looks like you need, they're recommending getting 4 to 10 times the amount of signatures. So if it's like rounding up to 600, you're going to be looking at like anywhere from 24 to 6,000 signatures.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, you're talking like 5 minutes per signature, basically, let alone a large percentage of the signatures are just scribble. So, I don't know.
Now, I'll send you a video. Leadership Institute and Young Americans really have videos on how to get this stuff. So, there's
Well, why don't we run the training right here on Clubhouse and play the audio from the videos?
That's a good idea, actually. Let me go make sure that my donations are up to date on Gal, and then I'll have access to their whole library of videos.
You see, Dr. Adams, the coordination that is happening on the stage right now, you could be a part of that coordination. You could be an essential part of this communication and campaign. All you gotta do is change your PTR, send $10 to the campaign right now, Dr. Adams. You could put this one in your back pocket, Dr. Adams, and say you were a campaign consultant on a congressional Republican campaign. It's a big resume boost. Anybody here can. Chris, Messi, Wallace, anybody here that knows me. Yoav, you want to, well, Yoav, maybe you can't work on the campaign, but you could still speak up in a clownhouse room. Anybody can, really. This is the internet. I think everybody's asleep. And maybe right now is a good Irish goodbye time, 2 a.m. You know, nobody wants to stay up all night working on this campaign. Mahood has what he needs to run. My side of the campaign ain't worried. So what is he going to announce dropping out? To the Libertarians.
Close this resolution, keep it open, and since Timothy is asleep, like title.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna just do an Irish goodbye in the name of Shepherd Pie, and I wish you all a pleasant good evening, and I bid you all farewell and adieu.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Bye.